Hello everyone, I'm Tabitha Yont. I'm the owner of Elegant Homes and Interiors, and come on here and tell me hello. And I hope that you guys can hear me because that's been a problem lately. But come on here and tell me hello. I'm going to come on here and chat with you guys for a little bit. I haven't done this for a while, and I'm thinking I really need to get on here and chat with you guys and talk to you about some things. One of the things that I really want to talk to you guys about is I hope that you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend and you're getting back to all the things. I know that it takes us a little while to do that and to get back in, going back to work and things like that, but I hope you guys are back in the swing of things. And the holidays are upon us, right? So one of the things I want to say is if you're seeing this, come on here and tell me hello. Tell me where you're coming from. And if you're watching this on replay, let me know that this is on replay. If you can't hear me, also let me know that too. Okay, we had tons of you guys come on here. We talked about the Sherry house, and the Sherry house has blown up my phone. And most of you guys have noticed that the post is going like crazy. So one of the things I really wanted, I have gotten tons and tons of questions about doing an addition on your home. And I think it's really important to answer some of these questions on a live. Hello, Kelly. Good evening. So one of the things that we are going to talk about, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you should do if you're thinking that you want to do an addition onto your home. And if one of the things that a lot of people call us about all these questions, I'm going to try to kind of sum this up in a brief way where you guys, if you're thinking about doing an addition, this will help you understand how this works. Okay. So one of the things that we do when we first determine, people call us and say, hey, we're thinking about adding a living room, or we're thinking about adding a kitchen. You know, the biggest thing a lot of women want to do is add a bigger dining room. And I think that's because if you have a larger family at one point, or you stayed in your house that you've basically have raised your children in, and then now your family they're grown. And it's growing is basically what it boils down to. So you need those spaces more and more and more, like a bigger dining room or a bigger living room or a bigger kitchen. Those are the areas that a lot of people just feel like, okay, now we've kind of outgrown this space and we're ready to kind of add on. We don't want to move. We've thought about moving and we're ready to do an addition. So we get this all the time. We get questions like this all the time, and we get people calling us for these things. So I'm going to give you 5 things that you guys can do to start off if you're thinking about doing an addition. The number one thing I think that is so important that everybody forgets and never talk about is they'll call us and say, I want to add on a kitchen. I want to add on a dining room, or I want to add on a living room. And one of the things that I always say is to definitely look at the space. Having somebody hire an interior designer or even a contractor, more an interior designer, look at this. Now, Jason has done it very well because he has worked with me so much. So he kind of knows what I'm going to say before I say it most of the time. Now, that's not always the thing when you hire a contractor to do this stuff, or a builder rather. One of the things that a lot of people think is that they have all the knowledge of an interior designer, and they don't. I'm just going to say that, and he's going to be mad that I said that, but I said it. I don't have all the knowledge of his work either. I don't really know all the ways that he does everything. I have a general idea. We both have an idea of what we're thinking. Hello, Renee. Hello, Peggy. We all kind of know him and I know what it goes because we work together. We've worked together for many, many, many years. But if you are going to tell me that you're adding on to the house, I would say definitely it's so important to get an interior designer. We kind of know a lady's look, and we're looking at all the trends and looking at all the things that you're wanting, and we're putting all that in one thing, okay? So the number one thing is develop a plan that complements your current house. I know, I'm going to say that again. This is the number one thing I think every single person that says, hello, I want to do an addition, and I want to do this and do that. And I'm like, okay, let's stop. Let's go back, and you want to develop a plan that looks good with your current home. And if you don't do that, what the problem is this is what it looks like. It looks like you added on to your house. The thing is once you add on to your house, you don't want it to look like you added on that square footage. You want that square footage to look like it's always been a part of your house. Okay? I'm going to say that again. You want it to be looking, if you do a huge addition, you want it to look like that addition has always been there. That is very tricky. And that is really hard. And that's where a lot of people really go wrong when doing new additions. They don't look at the whole layout of the whole house and what they have with their current layout versus what they're wanting to do an addition. And when I'm going to say that, I'm going to tell you what I mean. So a lot of times the women will say, I want to add a kitchen and a living room. It was like the Sherry house. She could not see her house any other way. She's lived there for 20 some years, I think, almost close to 30. So she's lived there for so long that she can't see and doesn't have the vision to see it any other way. Okay. So when she hired Jason and I, we came in together and we started seeing it, and she kept saying, I really want my current living room the same. I just want to keep it in the same room, which is now her formal dining room. Okay. So when I came in, I'm like, that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to add this huge space on, and that living room would look beautiful into that new kitchen area, which it does. But at first, she really fought us on that. And one of the things is because she couldn't really visually see it. Okay. So when you're actually wanting to do an addition, really reach out, hire an interior designer, hire a contractor, and all get together on the same page and look at the plans that you have currently and look at the plans that you're wanting to do on the addition. Okay, that's the very first thing. It has to complement what you already have. Okay. The next thing, the second thing, is to determine if you're going to remodel the rest of your home. Okay. This comes up really all the time. People will say, I want to do an addition. I want to add on this addition, and I want a new kitchen, and I want this new living room, and it's going to look fantastic. Then I always say, stop. Let's stop. If you are going to do an addition to your house and you have that money and you're setting it aside and you're really doing that, one of the biggest things that I would say to do is you really need to think, are you going to remodel the existing area that we are putting this addition onto? Okay. Not the whole entire, not the basement, not the upper stairs, but kind of hallways that go into this. You really have to think about, am I going to go ahead and remodel those spaces as well? That's so important, guys, because what happens is this. A lot of times we'll go and do these huge additions, and we've done this for many years. So once we do these additions, the old existing part looks terrible. It looks terrible. And they're like, why didn't you tell me this? It's if you have brand new woodwork and brand new, ceilings and floors and paint and all those things, and then you have it to your existing house that needs to be remodeled, it looks terrible. It's like a sore thumb. It just really sticks out. So one of the things that I always say is, if you're thinking about an addition, make sure that you get all these things in place, because you're going to know that will all determine on your next thing, get a budget. Okay. That will determine how big the space that you're going to add on to, what you can afford and what you can't afford, or if you can afford it all. So this is so important. The third thing is get a budget. After you've determined and you've had somebody like Jason and I come to your house and you've talked about what you're wanting to add on, the next thing that's great is to get a budget. From that point, you, the interior designer, and the contractor are all on the same page of what's going to happen. So the next thing you need to know, can I afford it? So the next thing that we do is we come back, we write notes about everything that we've talked about. We come back and we give you a general budget, which just means that we're kind of coming through it really generally, and we're talking about how much that's going to cost you. So these are really good steps to kind of let you know how things work. So we're going to go in and we're going to talk about is that something that you can afford? And that's just a really rough budget. You're going to go through that budget several times before you get started, but it's just to see if you can actually afford that space or remodel. Okay. So the fourth thing that I'm going to say with that is create a plan. And after you've kind of gotten the budget, you're on the go and you're like, I can afford this. We can do the addition. We can do the remodel, whatever it is that you guys decide to plan. The next thing you need to do, and I get this every single time people really say, oh, Tabitha, I don't want to do this, is you got to create the plan. And the plan means that when you're doing all new spaces in your house, it's so important. Is it worth it getting the house plans done by a professional? Yes, 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 yes. If you ask me that, I'm going to say yes. One thing that does is that allows you, the interior designer, the electrician, the builder, all these people to get all in the same plan. The plumber, everybody that's going to be in that plan, that lets them know exactly what you're doing and where you're doing it at. Okay. So yes, it is so worth it, because I've gotten lots of you asking me this question. The next question is it worth it to pay for the house plans? Yes. And then, not to mention, you're going to be able to see your new layout. So it's so important to get that. So pay for the house plans to be done by a professional, okay? And that lets everybody on the same, basically the same, what am I trying to say? The same note and everything. So you want to make sure everybody's on the same game plan. That's what I'm trying to say. The same game plan, so that you don't have to wonder if you're on the right track, okay? Hello, Debbie. Good evening. Thank you guys for being here. So the fifth thing I'm going to say, after you've you've looked at the house plans, the existing house plans, you've come up to determine if you're going to remodel the existing plans, okay? If you got a budget down and you're kind of thinking, okay, this is kind of working, we're going to jive with this, and you've got now a house plans. The fifth thing I want to say is set a budget. Wah, wah, wah. This is extremely helpful. Thank you, Renee. So the fifth thing I'm going to say is this. If you have already gotten all these things already done, the last thing to do is to set a budget, okay? Now, guys, I'm not going to say that when you're setting a budget, you're going to have all this thing set out. These are just the steps that you go. You're going to start talking about the budget in really good terms. You're about ready to sign on with these interior designers or this contractor, us, you're ready to sign on to that. So you really need to start. That's when we really dig into that budget and say, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and you go with it like this, and you're going to know that end number. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you, whatever that end number may be, I can promise you every woman, every man goes over that budget. So you have to know in your mind if it's a $150,000 renovation or it's a $75,000 renovation or whatever that might be. You've got to know that you're probably more than likely going to go over that a little bit. So you want to give yourself some variance. Another thing I'm going to tell you about setting a budget is a lot of people don't think about this. That might be the plan to make that space, but that doesn't put anything pretty in it, okay? I'm going to say it once again. When you're looking at your budget and your budget, let's just say your budget's $180,000 and you're thinking, okay, all right, well, they're coming in at 175, so we won. You didn't, because nobody ever puts into the big picture is you're going to probably need some new furniture. You're probably going to want to need some new rugs. You're going to probably need some drapery. So I always say, allow yourself some extras, because it is so important at the end that you get everything that you're thinking in your mind. And that is so important for women and men, is they think that they're going to add on to their house and do all these renovations. Even with a remodel, this is kind of the same thing, besides you're not doing the addition, okay? But the biggest thing is that you have to remember that you have to give yourself some allowance and some budget, okay, for the pretty things that you want to put in your house. And that's really important to be talking about that with interior designer that's going to help you. About the game plan as far as furniture, your existing furniture, what's going to stay, what's not going to stay in that space. So when you're getting that budget set, all those things will come in to determine if that makes any sense. So it's really, really important to go through these 5 steps. If you're thinking about, I'm talking about an addition to your home, but this is also with a remodel. This is all kinds of different things. I think it's so important to talk about these things up front, rather than your expectations are bad in the end, if that makes any sense. Because your expectations are going to be set in your mind, and what we're trying to do is get what you have in your mind when you're done at the end, so that everybody is happy, everybody's on the same page, and all these things. So setting the budget is the biggest thing in the end. Make sure that you always leave yourself enough allowance to be able to get it exactly what you want it to do and look like when you're done. Okay. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know I've gotten lots and lots of questions about, what do we do and what's the first steps and all the things, but these 5 steps are really, truly important. And then once you set the budget, typically from there, you sign a contract and you set a date. Okay. So you know exactly what you're getting in the end. And I think that's so important. Jason and I have done this for so many years, and we have developed relationships. And a lot of times with the relationships with the people, the contractors that we work with, or with the contractors that you work with, at the end, if you're not friends with them, something went wrong. So a lot of the times when we do these things, we end up being really good friends, and everybody loves the space. And that's what we want. That's what we want in the end, is that you guys are happy. So if you go through these 5 steps and you do all of this stuff, you will know exactly what you're getting. Okay, guys, if this was helpful, share it with your friends and family, and let me know down below. And thank you guys for being here. I hope this was helpful, and you guys have a good evening, and I hope I answered all the questions. Bye-bye.